in today's video, as you can tell from the title, this is going to be sort of a soft-spoken facts video, which, if you didn't know, I did one a little bit earlier on Star Wars, and you guys seem to really like that one, so I thought I would get up early in the morning and film one for you guys. And so hopefully, if you guys hear some background noises, birds chirping, some things in the background, hopefully you guys don't really mind. In my personal preference, I actually enjoy those type of little sounds in the background and make things seem more, I guess, real, I guess you could say. So with that being said, make sure you like the video. If you do like the video, if you want me to do more facts videos on different things, different topics, definitely let me know. I definitely want to do more, these types of videos, tier ranking videos, things like that. So just let me know down in the comments what you would like to see. And obviously subscribe to the channel. We are doing a giveaway at 7.5k, which is coming up pretty fast. So make sure you get in. All you got to do is sub and watch out for my announcement video for the giveaway. So yeah, with that being said, let's get right into some interesting Marvel cinematic and comic universe facts. So this is really just going to be more of like a chill, relax, sort of ramble video, not like a lot of my other more traditional, intense ASMR type of videos. If you do want to see those type of videos, obviously go on my channel, you'll see a lot of them. This is more just a sort of relaxing video, I guess you could say. But the first little fact here we have from the Marvel universe is the first Marvel superhero. Now I know what a lot of people think. Obviously, Captain America being, America, Mr. America. You think he would be the first sort of Marvel hero, but he's actually not. It's thought to be Captain America was the first Marvel hero. Well, you'd be right if it was not for some clever modifications. Marvel's first hero, appearing in Marvel's issue number 1 in 1939, was in fact the Human Torch. Yes, Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. Which is funny because both of those guys were played by the same actor, Chris Evans, obviously being the Human Torch first in Fantastic Four back in like 2004, 2003, sometime around there. And obviously now coming back in the Marvel Universe as Captain America. Very cool to see. But I actually didn't know that at all. If you would have asked me, I probably would have said, well, Captain America is sort of like too obvious, you know what I mean? It's like saying about DC and Superman. It's like saying, oh, well, obviously it's Superman. I actually don't know who the first DC comic was about, but the Human Torch, the first Marvel hero, that's pretty cool. This is kind of an interesting one. Black Panther is not the richest superhero in the Marvel Universe. That's funny. You would think so, because, well, maybe not, actually. I don't know. What does it say here? It is estimated that Black Panther has an estimated worth of somewhere in the trillions. This makes T'Challa himself only slightly less wealthy than the entirety of Sweden. That's pretty crazy. Yeah, because he runs a country, does he not? That's kind of interesting. Let's actually see this. Let's see this list. The top 12 richest Marvel characters by net worth. Kind of interesting. At number 12, we have Emma Frost, estimated worth of about $3 billion. I think she is a mutant from like the X-Men series, I think, if I can remember. At number 11, you have Professor X himself, Charles Xavier, estimated net worth of $3.5 billion. It's definitely a lot of money. At number 10, you have Reed Richards, who is also known as Mr. Fantastic at number 10. That's kind of cool. Norman Osborn at number 9. Green Goblin, estimated net worth of $5 billion. That's a lot. Yeah, it's kind of interesting to think about, like, how much money realistically it would take to build, Iron Man suits, Black Panther cities of Wakanda, and like all these things. Realistically, it's unfathomable how much money it would actually take in real life. This one's kind of interesting. At number 8, you have Iron Fist, Danny Rand, who I think in the comics and also in the very shortly lived Netflix series, his dad owned like some big company in New York. Same estimated net worth of Green Goblin himself. At number 7, you have Hercules. Yes, like Hercules. Estimated net worth of 10 billion plus. I definitely feel like it should be more than that. I do remember that Hercules is in the Marvel universe, because obviously you have Thor, who is a Norse god, a real life Norse god, Odin and all those guys. And I guess they also have, Olympus type of heroes as well, like Zeus and Hercules in the Marvel universe as well. But making more than Hercules himself is a Kingpin, estimated net worth of 30 billion. That's pretty cool. 5, you have Doctor Doom himself, Victor Von Doom, estimated net worth of $35 billion. Wow. Doctor Doom, man. I hope the next Fantastic Four movie is good, because, man, Doctor Doom could be the next Thanos of the next phase of the Marvel universe. I think that is the way they're going to go, Marvel, because obviously Thanos was such a big part of the entire package of the first phase of the MCU. I really hope, and he's also just such an iconic character, they could really do that with Doctor Doom. And I know a lot of you are thinking, Doctor Doom, he's just sort of like an Iron Man type guy in an iron suit. Trust me, if you look into it, Doctor Doom is one of the strongest villains in the entire MCU. He is extremely powerful, so if they play it right, this could be an amazing setup for a very good new big baddie in the Marvel MCU. At number 4, you have Justin Hammer. He's the guy, the main villain in Iron Man 2. He's the guy who sort of like, I don't want to say tries to take over anything for Tony Stark, but he's like another very big money guy, I guess, kind of like Tony Stark. Speaking of Tony Stark, number 3, we have Tony Stark. So Tony Stark, apparently in the entire MCU, is the third richest person. That's pretty crazy. Estimated net worth of $100 billion. That's a lot. That's definitely a lot. I mean, he does have like 50, 60, maybe even 100 plus Iron Man suits, and each one of those are probably a couple billion in himself, so that kind of makes a lot of sense. And then at number 2, we actually have T'Challa, who has an estimated net worth of $90 trillion. I think there's no way. He has to be the richest, right? Because not only he runs a country, he's also the king of that country, but he's also the king of a country who is so far into the future technology-wise. I feel like he has to be the richest in at least in my point of view. At number 1, they have Thor. Thor apparently is the richest, which I guess makes sense, because his city that he runs is like almost like completely made out of gold. You know what I mean? And they pay everything in gold. They probably have diamonds everywhere. That probably makes a little sense. But anyways, back to the reason why we're all here. Marvel facts. This is definitely a good one. Wolverine was almost once a talking Wolverine superhero. So a lot like how Rocket Raccoon is, a real life raccoon, they were going to make that same character, but a Wolverine. That's pretty interesting. Another one was Samuel L. Jackson was Nick Fury by accident. That's pretty funny. I know, like, throughout the time of Nick Fury, he was literally always portrayed a lot like how Samuel L. Jackson looked, and apparently it was by accident. I don't know if I could really say by accident, but that's pretty funny. And obviously when you're casting heroes, you obviously want them to look like how they are in the comics. Obviously there's some differences in that. You can make any superhero look any different way. It doesn't matter, because they're made up characters, but Samuel L. Jackson play him in the movies. That's pretty funny. Wasp was almost in Avengers Assemble. I really wish she was. If you don't know, Wasp is Ant-Man's sort of right-hand man, or girl, I guess you'd say. And she is a really cool character. I really love her powers, her abilities, basically just like Ant-Man, but a little bit cooler, actually. But I wish she was more involved in the Marvel Universe now. I'm not sure where, the actress who plays the Wasp is in sort of her contract situation with Marvel. Same thing with Paul Rudd and Ant-Man. I don't know if they're going to be in the long run of the new Marvel sort of phase 2, because they're obviously coming out with a new movie with Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I think it's Quantumania. I think that's the new one that's coming out soon. I hope they're in for the next phase, because I love Paul Rudd, I love Ant-Man, I love the Wasp character. It's really dope, so I hope she's in it more. But I think it would have been a lot cooler if she was more involved in the Avengers sort of movies and universe. I think she deserves a little bit more than that. This one is, Black Widow is how old? That's a really good question. In the comics, she's said to be over 70 years old. Oh my god. Could you imagine? Oh my god. How is that even a thing? The films are very vague about how old Natasha Romanoff is, only hinting that she's old enough to have been raised by the KGB. That is right. That's kind of a long time ago now. The comics, however, various medical procedures and bits of biotechnology have allowed her to live for decades. Wow. Wakandans speak a real language. I knew that fact. Let's see here. One of the most interesting hidden references in Black Panther is how the words spoken are a variety of Xhosa. It's spelled Xhosa. Not sure how to pronounce that, but it is a real language spoken prominently in Zimbabwe and South Africa, where obviously, where the fake country of Wakanda is at. That's interesting. I knew it was actually, I thought it was only like parts of a real language mixed in with like some sort of like fake gibberish, but apparently it's a real language. That's actually really cool to see. What else we have here? The facts on the Marvel Fox legal complications. That's pretty funny. It just talks about how obviously in the MCU, in the movies, in the comics, it's so different because obviously having, the comics with Avengers and also X-Men, it provides a lot more opportunity in different things, different storylines. But in the MCU, it's very limited to what they can do. It even says here that different words have to be put in and taken out in the scripts and everything like that to make it so that no legal actions are taken against each other, because obviously in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, they really talk about, mutants and adamantium, which is the sort of metal that's used in Wolverine's bones that make him, Wolverine. They can't say that word. And then obviously the biggest thing with the Wanda and Vision show that just came out on Disney Plus, if you guys didn't know, Magneto is actually the father to Wanda, which is a big deal, obviously in the comic universe, because Wanda becomes, or I guess Scarlet Witch, you can say, becomes such a powerful being. She's the daughter of Magneto, who's also a very powerful being, also a mutant, which hopefully with more, I guess, loose ties with Fox and Marvel and Disney, hopefully they can go more into depth with that. Obviously with the new, isn't that movie called Eternals? Or New Mutants, something like that. There's a new Marvel movie coming out with more mutant people. Hopefully that sort of ties in more with how it's going to be, obviously, with Fantastic Four. They're mutants, obviously, so hopefully that ties in a little bit more. Hopefully we can get a little bit more X-Men people, obviously like Quicksilver, coming into the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the WandaVision show. Hopefully they can add a little bit more X-Men people, and maybe we can get a, Avengers versus X-Men movie, or an Avengers and an X-Men movie. something like that. I think that'd be really cool to see. It's kind of a cool one. It's the universe's greatest powers. Marvel has many great and powerful heroes, and a popular proposal is who is the most powerful. That's pretty interesting. I mean, obviously in the MCU, it's probably Thanos. I mean, we saw obviously even without the gauntlet he took out, well, didn't take out, but was doing very well against Thor, Captain America, Iron Man. Like, that trio could barely even take out Thanos. So I think Thanos might be it, and obviously with the gauntlet, unstoppable. But Thor, very powerful. Iron Man, very powerful. I think Hulk could be more powerful, but in the MCU they make him dumber down in strength, I could see. But it says here, the award could go to the one above all. An all-powerful, all-knowing entity that takes the form of Jack Kirby when interacting with others. Also, could be argued that the Living Tribunal, a cosmic entity charged with keeping all universes in balance. Interesting. He got a name drop in the movie Doctor Strange. Interesting. Yeah, I've never heard of the one above all. I'll try to look up some pictures of him. Never heard of him before. Sounds pretty powerful, actually, not gonna lie. No. Another fact is it Spider-Man or Spider-Man? One word. I think technically it's Spider-Man, but I know a lot of people just type it in or write it in Spider-Man, but I think it's technically Spider-Man. Let me see. According to Stan Lee, which obviously he would know, it's Spider-Man with a hyphen in order to separate him from Superman, who in print could appear to have a very similar name. Oh, I think I remember reading about that somewhere, because they sort of came out around the same time, and they didn't want people to, look at a comic and be like, oh, this is Superman, I'm gonna buy this in Superman, or remind people about Superman when they are reading Marvel comics. So they wanted to keep those separate. So Spider-Man, Spider-Man, makes a lot of sense. Another cool one is Hulk was gray at first. Gray at first. He was made green after the first issue because when it came to printing comics, the gray tone in the 4-color printing process would come out different every time. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I know there are different types of Hulks in like the Marvel comic universe. I know there's obviously Hulk. There's Red Hulk. There's actually I think there is a Gray Hulk also in the comic universe. I think there's one more. There's obviously She-Hulk, which if you don't know, She-Hulk is getting her own Disney Plus series, which is really cool to see. She-Hulk, that'd be really fun to watch. But Hulk at first, which originally gray. Let's see, another cool one. A fan designed the Black Spider suit. That's really cool. In the 1980s, Marvel held a fan competition looking for aspiring writers and artists. One fan submitted an idea of a stealth suit for the webhead, engineered by Reed Richards. The idea didn't hold, but Marvel did in fact like the idea and offer the fan $220 for the art and idea. And obviously, that fan should have held out or asked for more money, because obviously the black spider suit, the symbiote spider suit, is one of the most iconic suits, maybe in the entire MCU. Obviously, you have, Iron Man suit in the original Spider-Man suit, but the black symbiote Spider-Man suit is super amazing and cool and important. It is really dope. So that's so crazy that a fan in the 80s actually did that and only got offered $220 for it. That's honestly very funny. This is actually kind of a cool MCU one. Jeremy Renner, who plays Hawkeye in the MCU, trained with Olympic archers. Wow. Hawkeye, aka Jeremy Renner, trained with Olympic archers to understand how to shoot a bow. A playlist suited to his role is another trick of his. A playlist suited to the role. not sure what that's supposed to mean, but that's really cool that they would make him do that. I'm sure they do a lot of things like that. Like I'm sure Scarlett Johansson probably did a lot of different types of work with like CIA people or something like that. I'm sure that's what happened. I'm sure, obviously, I know Tom Holland was a dancer before being Spider-Man, which obviously by Spider-Man being a very acrobatic type of character and superhero, I'm sure that also helped a lot with that. I'm sure he did a lot of gymnastic work as well. So it's kind of cool they make these sort of actors not only play certain roles, or I'm sure they probably put like Chris Evans, Captain America, into some like boxing classes and stuff like that. I think it really adds a lot of depth to the character and everything like that. So that's pretty cool. It says here that Robert Downey Jr. did not make the initial cuts in playing Iron Man. That's pretty interesting. It's kind of difficult to imagine an Iron Man not played by Robert Downey Jr., but it almost happened had Jon Favreau, who is the director and also plays Happy in some of the Iron Man movies, not insisted. That's pretty interesting. Probably just a couple more. There is a frog with the powers of Thor. This character's name is Throg, and wields the frog Mjolnir, which, if you don't know, is the name of Thor's hammer. While Thor and Throg may have many similarities, they are said to be completely different beings. So you're telling me there is a Marvel comic out there that has a frog with the powers of Thor? That's definitely very interesting. Doctor Doom briefly played the role of Iron Man. Let's see here. Doctor Doom took on the role of Iron Man. Doctor Doom became known as the infamous Iron Man. Oh, the infamous Iron Man is his name. Infamous Iron Man. I never knew that. That's pretty cool, actually. I don't know, for a good guy purpose or a bad guy purpose. I'm assuming for a bad guy purpose. That's probably not the greatest thing. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this little facts video. Hopefully they were somewhat interesting. If you guys want me to do another one of these, a different movie genre of these, definitely let me know. I love doing them. Make sure you like the video if you like the video, and subscribe to the channel. I'll see you again in my next video very, 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 very soon.